Quickly.
And as soon as you start it, fire everywhere!
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, the Demon Hunter starting area? Anyway.
I didn't say green fire, come on.
I brought some stuff for our talk.
Ooh!
I've got some goodies.
Yay!
So.
Oh, okay. If need be, I can start grabbing stuff too. I've got some shot glasses.
I've got those, yeah. Did you get one of these?
Oh, I didn't get one of those. That's cool.
An elite medal.
Oh man, I need that.
This camera's really good.
Yes,
Yeah,
camera is really good.
Yeah, it's actually the MacBook Pro camera. That's why I switched over to it. My old one, my Logitech one, is just a piece of crap compared to this thing now.
It's a MacBook Pro camera.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the new one from Razer. You seen the new one from Razer?
No.
It has built-in green screening, so you don't have to do the green screen. It just figures out who you are.
Oh, that is cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
And it's 3D too, so it actually has two cameras. So that's how it's able to do it.
Oh, that makes sense.
So.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
Everything looked good. I don't look like a mess.
Nope, you're fine. I'm just glad we're not wearing the same shirt because I was wearing that shirt from Loot Crate earlier.
It's a great
All
plan.
right. Yeah. Mew, since you've been on a few times, can you do host 2 for me on the lead-in, and then I'll take care of the news, and then once we're done with the news, we'll go into the game discussion, and who knows where to go.
Alright, I will give it a shot, and hopefully I won't stumble all over it.
So
you're
for the intro and kind of like what I've been up to and stuff, I could talk a whole lot about that. Do we want to leave the WoW discussion to that actual section?
Yeah, to the game news.
Okay.
Yeah, so just what you've been doing besides WoW stuff, and then we'll go into WoW and Mass Effect 2, your streaming and that sort of stuff on the news section.
Okay.
All right.
Fix the lighting. Unfortunately, it's that time of day where the blinds are doing this weird thing. That I can't
Yeah, I see
avoid.
that.
That's okay.
You're fine.
It'll move soon.
All right. You ready, Mew?
As ready as I'm going to be.
All right, and I have sound. So we are going in 5, 4, 3. On this episode of the AIE Podcast,
Wedding bells are ringing.
a convention of dragons is imminent.
We're losing faction leaders left and right.
Tips and tricks in the Star Wars universe.
Mirror, mirror, Trek events are happening.
All that and more coming up now.
Bringing you the latest news from the AIE gaming community from planet Earth and beyond. This is the AIE Podcast.
Welcome to episode 260 of the podcast celebrating the Alia Iacta Est gaming community, the Die Has Been podcast. This is Tetsemi. McCullough is off reading by the ocean and is relaxing, but will be returning, just like the Legion in WoW. This week, we are joined by special guests Ben the Mage and Mewcow, who are here to talk to us about the AIE pre-Legion launch in WoW and the other games we've been playing. Welcome, guys. How you doing?
I hear nothing from Ben. You must be muted.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Yes, that was on my end. I am sorry.
Okay. I was just making sure he wasn't like fake muting and messing with us, because that would have been perfect. So
Yeah, it's not like I've ever been on a podcast before. I don't know how this mute button works.
No. Professionals, what are that?
No. All right. So Ben the Mage. What have you been up to?
Oh my gosh, my time has been split in so many different ways with all the wonderful things that have been out. A big chunk of it we'll get to later, but I gotta say, No Man's Sky hit the universe like a brick, and a lot of people don't seem to like it very much, but that game is offering exactly what I need, which is, hey, here's a whole vast, huge sandbox. Just do whatever. Whatever.
Right.
And I'm really actually enjoying that. I just finally left my first starting system I was at. It had, I think, like 5 planets in it, so I went, looked around all of them and everything like that. But even more so, it's like, I don't know, maybe I'm 6 to 10 hours in, and that's all I've done. Just jumped to a new planet, new race and everything, and I'm like, I need to get back there and just see what's out there. Even if it is kind of, monotonous and boring, but you know what? It's just what I need to just kind of like chill and relax and play around in space, because I'm a big space fan.
Right. I mean, if you want a story, you just go to Mass Effect.
You're roboting.
Yep.
Yeah, and actually, I tried to play that at first and had a different experience. So about 5-10 minutes in, exploring things, playing Space Minecraft, and all of a sudden, click, click, boom, and my PS4 dies.
Which is such a sad story.
It redeems itself because a few days ago, it randomly decided to start working again.
Oh, how weird.
Behind. Yeah, you're echoing over there.
Just a bit.
We've been actually able to play and actually exploring a bit more. Jen is playing on her own version of it, so she ended up on a cold planet, on a Hoth.
Cool.
And I ended up on like a moderate planet, and then one of our friends that came over ended up on a moderate planet too. So we've all kind of just been running around and playing. Aludra also got to play for a little bit when she came over to visit. So that's how she got, I guess, her taste of it. But yeah, it's. I mean, I don't see what people are upset about. It's actually a pretty fun game, and you can either go out and do whatever the heck you want, or there's like a little orb thing that I guess you can ask it to give you some guidance. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's been interesting. Finding things, finding old technology that teaches you a language.
Yep. Okay, so that's one of the cool things is word by word, you're just getting little bits here and there and stuff. Like, I don't know which alien species you've talked to, but I basically forget exactly what they're called right now, like the Korvac or something. Yeah, the people I talked to, they look like they're members of Daft Punk with like screen robot faces.
I haven't even gotten that far yet. I'm just
they're cool.
Planet, yeah. No, I'm learning languages that starts with a V, violin or something like that, or. But yeah, no, that's been interesting. So I haven't even gotten to the point where I actually leave the planet yet. So I don't know what to talk to. Yeah.
Oh yeah, once you actually start doing stuff like that, just the transition from ground to space is really cool because it's just like I'm just gonna point that way and go. And it's pretty cool. I think everybody should give it a try. Unfortunately, the price point isn't exactly where a lot of people are going to be happy with what it actually offers. But it's not a game for go shoot 'em up and play with your friends and stuff like that. It's totally just a chill kind of watch, play around with stuff, survival type game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
very much. It's like Minecraft on extreme survival mode. Like you will freeze to death, you will burn to death, stuff like that.
Yeah. But I mean, other than that, I've oh man, Overwatch is still just pulling me in so many different directions. Of okay, I got to get in and play, but there's other stuff over there, and I'm just. At this point, I'm where I really want to, get so much better working on like a bunch of different characters and everything like that. Because for the most part, if you look at my time, I'm on Junkrat and Reinhardt. Like that's it, because nobody plays tank, and when things go to hell, I just go to Junkrat and blow stuff up, and it seems to work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and whereas Pharah is my go-to when things are falling apart. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna come in as Pharah and just blast everything to death.
Yeah.
I figure that'll figure it out.
It really works out.
Yeah, and I wish I had more time to play Overwatch. It's just, but with this whole move looming over me, I haven't had as much time to get games I would have liked. But yeah, it's definitely like I did enjoy the games. The Lucio Ball was still fun. It was
it was so great. Like when people weren't cheating their way into different characters. But I mean, Rocket Chat with skating. How cool is that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and using all of his different abilities, his ultimate doing a pull instead of doing the shields. That was pretty cool.
Exactly.
Little bits here and there. Once you really get into it, then you get into these people that just got way too good at it. You're like, wow, you're doing some crazy stuff with this game.
I know. I was kind of surprised. I mean, for me, like advanced technique is I'm riding the wall. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and it's when your team learns that there should be a goalie, it's like the whole game just changes. Like, oh, goalie blocked the ball, but what?
Oh,
Yeah,
exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
All right, so is this...
other than the big ones, yeah, that's what I've been doing a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you?
With me, probably lots of WoW Legion, leveling characters, having this altitis ailment, pretty much have 20 something different characters, all to jump around on, try them all out. I did try out the new Demon Hunter, which was fun. I'm still not sold that that's gonna be like a main. Like I've seen a lot of people are like, that's my main. That's where I'm going in. It's like, no, I still kind of like druids, but surprisingly, the one class I did not play a lot of until recently was warrior.
Yeah.
And then this, yeah, Fury Warrior. Well, even Prot Warrior. Like I'm now like Prot Warrior is now my favorite tank. Like it was Guardian Druid, but Prot Warrior just feels like a tank. It feels like it should. They really
feels
did
like
a good job.
Suit of armor.
Yeah, it feels like you're actually like taking these blows and able to withstand this stuff. And I haven't gotten quite the feel for the new Guardian yet, but I just need to play it a bit more, I suppose. But yeah, the Warrior is now like my second. It's my second main. Like I have the Druid, but then the Warrior's right up there.
Oh,
I've been very surprised with that. And other than that, playing a little bit of Fallout. There's They picked an unfortunate date to come out on the 30th, but they have the Nuka-Cola coming, so that's going to be interesting. If you're familiar with the Far Harbor, Nuka-Cola is actually even bigger than Far Harbor, which Far Harbor was pretty darn big. So that promises to be interesting. But they've also had some like minor DLC since then. The Vault experimentation stuff. Some life improvements. So yeah, it's been kind of interesting. So I've just been running around this unfinished vault and actually like crafting parts of a vault and trying to build this bigger vault thing. And you come across this person that was supposed to be the overseer, and they're like, hey, help me finish this vault. So you're kind of doing that. So
that is really cool. I know that Bethesda was talking about a lot of the different plans that they had for the DLC for that. So I'm really glad to see that they're really following through and just giving you a lot of good content to play with.
Yeah, some people were a little disappointed because they felt that maybe they put too much time into the building, but that's just it. It wasn't a content patch. It was here's an improvement to the game patch. It's
right.
That's pretty much what it was, and they really helped to the building of settlements by making things happen together a little cleaner and just giving you lots more stuff to build and build because you can go back to your other settlements and use some of these improvements there too. So it's kind of nice.
Oh, nice.
Like there's a thing you're supposed to do is population control, in this new vault. Well, they let you do that in your other settlements too, so you can actually put quest markers on people you're having a hard time finding. So huge quality of life improvements like that. But yeah, that's
like grade markers for people.
Pretty much. Yeah, where are you?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's been fun. So yeah, but unfortunately, most of my time has been you can't see it, but I've been packing up to move to Texas. So that's been the foremost in my mind of what I'm with. Of course. Yeah.
No, I'm just glad we were able to get you on the podcast before you left for Texas, or had the computer packed up, one of the two.
Yeah, well, as most computer users are, this is usually the last thing packed and the first thing unpacked. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, if only for entertainment, musical purposes, much less. It's the baby, last and first. Simple as that.
Definitely. Yeah, I have a TV over here, but this monitor is bigger than the TV, so I don't need it. I'm gonna pack the TV up. I don't even need that. I can have this thing. So, but yeah, it's TVs, computers. Those are the last things to pack up. But yeah, that'll be fun.
Well, good.
Cool.
What about you, Tets?
What have I been up to besides sounding like a robot? Now, how do I sound now?
Much better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you, Ralph, for the alert. So what I've been up to besides WoW is Max and Seema do their weekly podcast for Star Wars The Old Republic, and they were nearing the end of Knights of the Fallen Empire, which is a really good storyline. and I had skipped 15 and 16 mainly because, sorry, hang on, XV and XVI, there you go, Max. Mainly because just with all the time in WoW and stuff like that, I just hadn't been able to catch up. So I finally sat down and knocked those 2 chapters out and finished up the story. And they're right. If you've been playing it through, it's very Empire Strikes Back ending where there's tons of questions and loose ends, and you're like, okay, I hope they start answering this in the new, in the new section. So, or in the Knights of the Eternal Throne. But if you have Star Wars: The Old Republic, you can subscribe now. And as long as you're subscribed by, I believe, the end of September, beginning of September, I'll have to double check. I know if you subscribe now, you'll basically get all of Knights of the Fallen Empire up through Chapter XVI, Chapter 16. So you can just run through that whole chapter if you want to, the whole storyline, but it's really good. Other than that, looking at No Man's Sky, mainly reading the Discord stuff in the AIE on No Man's Sky and looking at it, and I was really tempted by No Man's Sky, but I just said no. I'm gonna hold off. I want to see what the game actually is versus what people think it is. The hype train that like built it up into be this huge storyline, and so yeah, I think it's basically Space Minecraft, which is something I like, but I'll get it once they've gone through a couple more patches and, Legion's a couple months old. I'll probably go back and visit it. So that's what I've been up to.
Totally makes sense. I mean, again, with No Man's Sky, it is someone's perfect cup of tea, and maybe in a couple more servings, it'll be someone else's. So.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely set up for them to add some content patches and give it a little bit more story if they really wanted to. But I kind of think that a lot of the hype has just been players putting in their minds what they think it's going to be, and putting words in the mouths of some of these developers. I mean, yes, they did promise some things that didn't happen yet, but it's a big undertaking. I mean, this is a pretty big game.
Yeah, it was a 15-person team, and that's what I think a lot of people are forgetting.
Yeah.
Right. I think what people wanted, or what they were reading into it, was it's going to be Space Minecraft with Mass Effect storyline, or that level of storyline. And if you look at what Mass Effect did, yeah, they went to multiple planets and had multiple storylines, but it was all very...
Yeah, it was very, very tailored for the experience. They have the crafted storyline for that. It's funny because I look at Mass Effect and No Man's Sky as two sides of the same coin. Where, like in Mass Effect, they had this great universe building, except they were very stringent on where they actually kept you. Whereas No Man's Sky is this huge open expanse, but there's nothing really guiding you through any of it. So
it's go out and play in the sandbox.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's Eve without the the spreadsheets essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Although Jetta's put up several spreadsheets, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, to know what inventory space you have, where you can possibly get more, and lots of stuff you can do.
Yeah, I definitely need to look into that too.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we're going to get into more discussion in just a minute, but let's get into the AIE news.
AIE news.
Yay! All right, robot check.
Yeah, very
Super
bad.
robot.
The bumper even was too. So
yeah, I was going to say even the bumpers are roboting. So while he does that, let's see. All right, so we have in community. Congratulations to fellow AIE guildies Dankinia and Kojak70, who got married last week. Another gaming couple getting together, and we definitely love you guys.
Yay!
Yeah.
It was a pretty big deal for them, and I just want to make sure we snuck that in there.
Exactly. You know what? We are very happy for the I don't know, I want to say the happy couple, but I'm just using happy twice, and it just sounds weird. So we are ecstatic for the happy couple. There we go.
There you go.
There you go. Any better?
Nope. Well, you want to take the next one, Ben? We can handle
we'll do
that while he's trying to fix that.
Yep. This just in, AIE has joined the Discord revolution. If you have questions about it or need more info, please make sure to check out Mathanuk's post in the forums.
With the link in the show notes.
Yes.
All right. So on to meetups. Remember that September is going to be a very busy month, and it begins with Dragon Con. We do have a meetup invitation on the meetup website, link in the show notes. And folks attending are encouraged to use the Pound Meetups channel. Well, I think it's just meetups, isn't it? And the AIE Discord for planning before and coordination during Dragon Con.
Yep, Discord's been just a huge help. So, thank you, Stig, and everybody for setting that up. It's definitely helped us. Had that great green wall outside of games.
Definitely.
But speaking of games, now here's a spoiler if you actually haven't done the Broken Shore scenario yet. But it looks like Mana Jamba is planning on holding an in-game ceremony for you-know-who. If anyone is interested in joining him, please reply on the forums to the thread that he's actually already started, which also is in the link will be in the show notes.
You back yet, Tet? Can we hear you?
I don't know. Am I echoing?
No, you're still robot-y. All right, then on to SWTOR news. SWTOR Escape Podcast 157, Quick Tips 1, I'm guessing. This week, AIE SEMA, Max the Gray, and Astromech EPC 157 do a shorter quick tip show. We'll alternate with this slightly different and new format between major news and content release cycles for a bit. I'm guessing the we is them. They'll also touch on other game and community news for the week for SWTOR in general, and remind everyone that our casual, family-friendly multi-game guild is always looking for new members. Our officer channel on the Jedi Covenant is, we'll probably have that in the show notes, but it's /cjoin AIE LFO. For more guild information, look up, again, link in the show notes, aie-guild.info/SWTOR.
Yep, and you can always check the Escape Podcast live. The podcast and chat room on Tuesday nights is around 10:30 Central at twitch.tv/New Overlords. Make sure to follow and subscribe on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, all the things, to hear the podcast news and see all the other guild streams.
All right. And the next session.
Yeah, big question here. Mew, I know that you are very much into the whole Final Fantasy Shiv R. So anything new going on?
Well, we're still in the middle of the big, wrong screen. The big Yokai Watch cross promotion, which has been a pretty cool event. Essentially, if you're into pets and you know anything about Yokai Watch, it's very much your pet collecting, but you have a mystical watch that can catch these spirits. Yokai are kind of mischievous or evil spirits, but Final Fantasy apparently decided, hey, we like those guys, so let's have them have their stuff in our game for a little bit. So you get to run around and basically, collect all these little critters, and it's giving you, if you are familiar with the Lightning Returns cross promotion that happened, it's very similar to that, where you're essentially earning all kinds of neat weapons that are actually themed after the yokai, and of course you're earning the yokai themselves. Mm-hmm. If you play their version of Battle Pets, you collect these yokai to actually keep after the event's over, and you can use them in the Battle Pets. So it's actually pretty cool. But yeah, I think the big thing everyone's after is those weapons, because they are kind of interesting takes on it, and it's fun stuff. And then also, pretty soon, the Rising event is going to be taking place. That'll be August 29th at 1 a.m. and ends at September 12th. And it's pretty much a yearly thing. It's just sort of the continuation of that story. You're probably better off, and I'll put a link in the show notes to get the details. But since it's not quite here, I guess it just started. The link I had doesn't have the full info, so well, I'll try to find a better full info link. But it's just continuing the Rising story, so that
Very cool.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll do that.
And if there's anything I've heard from Final Fantasy fans is that the story is actually incredible to behold. So I know that we're always taking applications and looking for more people to join. So if you're playing Final Fantasy Shivar or what is it, 16, 15, 14?
14.
That's right. I know my Roman numerals. If you're playing Final Fantasy 14, and what shard or realm are we on?
Gilgamesh, which you may need help getting in because it's a very popular server. It's been it's had longer periods of being unlocked. So if you've been trying to get in, keep an eye on it. There is a website that we tend to link out saying, watch this website. It'll actually alert you, hey, it's open. Go in, go jump in. But and we've actually talked about internally. Do we want to move to a less popular service? Like, well, no. This is a great server. Yes, it's a pain to get new people in, but it's such a friendly server. I mean, you log in server, you go to any city, even not the ones that aren't major cities, and there's people everywhere. Final Fantasy has this neat thing to where if there's a lot of players in the area, background noise will start coming.
Oh,
to let
cool.
you know that it's very busy. Like it feels like there's a huge din of people just making noise and talking and stuff like that. So, and everywhere is packed, and it's kind of cool because you can get practically everything done. So.
Very cool. All right. Well, in Star Trek Online news, RRF Admiral Sybil communication systems are currently being overrun with tribbles. However, it looks like Grievous did manage to get a transmission through the forums to remind folks that the Mirror Invasion event is running to September 15th. That's right. For more information, make sure to check out the post on the forums, and the link will be in the show notes.
Good job, guys. Am I any better?
No.
Slightly, but not much.
It's my life.
Well, you know what? We still love you, though.
Yeah.
I know. This is just frustrating. All right, hang on.
You're better. You're better now. Don't
okay,
move.
I won't touch anything.
Don't.
All right,
Yeah.
we're good?
Yeah, we're good.
I'll have to remember what I did. Okay. Afraid to move now. Okay. All right, we're good?
Yes.
Still good. Still good.
All right, so let's get back to, while we can still talk about it, the pre-patch event for WoW, because I think other than the one before Wrath with the the whole pre-Wrath event, I think this is the best invasion / pre-patch event that they've put together. What do you guys think?
Oh, hands down, definitely. It's something that I think I've thrown out there before. I think I played more these past 3 weeks than I did other than Raid for the past year of WoW. It's been, not exactly the most story compelling content, but there's a ton to do, and I've got so many different characters now at max level because of it.
Yeah. No, I'm glad they adjusted the XP.
Yeah, if you're an active player and you have a low level alt, you will level very quickly. It's definitely one of those things where they try to discourage those that just sit there AFK by making it to where if you're there for the experience and you don't do anything, well, you're not going to get much. But if you actually go out there and participate in everything going on, you're just going to level like mad. I've gotten, like everyone else, gotten so many level 100s from this.
Yeah, I actually, let's see, my most recent one was my warrior. Fury Warrior, again, so much fun.
Shocker.
I brought her up from 20, and she hit 100 today. So, I mean, I had, gosh, how many boxes? I had a ton of boxes to open up. So, I'm decked out really well now, but it's the event has been great. There's just been demons everywhere. These invasions have been happening. The story's been ramping up, and it's making just the want and the love for Legion that much more. I mean, it's been a great intro to it.
I definitely agree. Yeah, and I had the same exact experience with a warrior, low-level warrior. Jumped in there, had all the boxes. When I opened all the boxes, I had a full set of 700.
Yep,
it was just,
exactly.
With a few Warforged because I waited a little bit to actually finish the leveling. So yeah, it's like this character can now raid. Like if we were still doing that, but it's fully ready for the Legion. It was so easy just to jump in there, and it was engaging, and there is a little bit of a story in each little invasion zone, so it's not totally just let's kill demons. Like, no, there's a little bit going on.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of little stuff you can find on the ground that's special for the Legion invasions. Potions that do different things. There's bandages. There's all kinds of little nooks and crannies that you can go in there. Like you go into mines and do some stuff there. There's vehicles. There's
Yes.
themed vehicles.
I love when people show up like, where did you get the Night Elf glaive tosser?
Yeah, exactly. Or there's even a Blood Elf one in, I think in Ashara. I saw it there.
No, those are Night Elf ones.
Oh,
Those
okay.
are the Night Elf ones. They drive them down from the other zone and they come in.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, because I swear I saw some Blood Elf colored ones. Like the golden and orange, as opposed to the purple and yellow kind.
No, I haven't seen those, but I've seen, like, if you're thinking about Ashar, there's on the very edge of Ashar, there's an actual area where the Night Elves are trying to encroach because they're trying to defend the forest. So that's where they're getting a lot of those from. It's basically allows the Alliance characters that come over to the Ashar zone to still have something to jump into.
Gotcha.
Because if I've noticed that you can't jump to the opposite faction's vehicles.
Yeah, which unfortunately would be really nice, but
yeah.
Although if you are still leveling, if you're in a vehicle when a boss dies, you don't get the XP for it, so you have to jump out before it actually dies. I got burned on that once, and I'm like, well, I'm not jumping into vehicles anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of counterintuitive. You'd think you'd want the lower levels in the vehicle so they don't get squished so much, and then the higher levels should be able to survive the hits a little bit better. But yeah, it's kind of like they want to do the opposite or something.
Exactly. But I mean, Tet, you were saying that best pre-expansion event since the Wrath, and I gotta say I loved the Wrath expansion. And the pre-expansion event was really great and everything. Unfortunately, I didn't have a plate wearer, so I couldn't get any of the really cool gear that was offered. So one of the things I was really excited about is the fact that you can actually get all the different transmog appearances and everything for the different types of gear, even if it's something that you don't wear.
Yep.
And now I have everything unlocked. So in fact, half of my characters are decked out in the Legion looking stuff because it's neat looking. So Blizzard's really done a lot to help everybody get everything that they possibly could, and with the fact that those nether shards drop like candy. I mean, I have what was the number? Something like 19 Fellbat pups just sitting in my bank for maybe later on to sell. So. Yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah,
or to pass to Nevermore.
Exactly. Yeah. In fact, she just waved. She's like, "Give it to me. Give it to me." So perfect.
Yeah, the Fury Warrior I had well over 1,000 shards once I was done, and was able to just buy whatever it wanted. And one of the neat little things that they put in there that I liked was if you go to the vendor and you go to those the appearance tokens, it'll actually tell you if you have everything or not.
Yes.
So that was a very handy thing for them to add. That way you don't just blindly buy it. And it says, no, you already know everything, or you know some of the things, or you know nothing, Jon Snow. But it's kind of a neat thing that they put like a little bit of quality of life. They put a lot of good quality of life stuff in there. So that's
exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, well, speaking of quality of life, just all the different things that are going into the different classes and stuff. I mean, I've said it before many times, but Blizzard really listens. The issues that people had with the past expansion, and they've really elevated World of Warcraft to a point where it is. I mean, it's just so much more fun and dynamic again. At least that's the feeling that I'm getting, going into Legion, just from what I played in the different, invasions, the characters that I've leveled up, and the bits that they've been, sharing with like the Broken Shore and all that.
Do you like the talking heads from the different quest givers and the leaders of each invasion area?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. It's been an interesting flavor. It's kind of, I guess that might be their new, like when Draenor first came out, you had the very Borderlands style zoom in to the boss as they got the introduction. Mm-hmm. Well, now that this seems to be the new kind of little bit of tech they're adding, where it's that you actually see the talking head giving you a little bit of a quick rundown on what's going on. It kind of gives it, one of the things that WoW has kind of been lagging behind with the newer ones is it doesn't have a lot of voice acting. Well, that's kind of like putting the voice acting right in your face and saying, this is the guy that's talking to you. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, the only downside I have is that it fills up so much of my space, and like I don't know why, but just with all the invasions and everything, I found that I keep my mouse like about, I don't know, 2/3 over to the right and like just above my action bar, and that's where the talking head appears. So sometimes, like, all of a sudden they'll be talking, and then I'll just start spinning around like I'm not used to it or something. So I'm like, ah! But
Yeah.
that's the only thing. But
So-
I mean, it's great.
Yeah, if you have the add-on Move Anything, you can actually move that bar.
Oh, I can't do that, Ted. I have so few add-ons when it comes to UI. Why break something that works perfectly for me?
Yeah. No, I moved it to the top because I actually like to look up and see who's talking, so I moved it up to the top of the screen.
That's a good call. Okay, I might have to do that actually.
And I'm surprised.
Yeah,
Normally,
Move Anything-
Domino's has that.
Yeah, now Move Anything's very lightweight, and all it does, Ben, it doesn't add anything to your UI, it just lets you move the UI.
Okay,
Everything.
cool. I'll do that.
If only it could fix roboting.
Yeah, very true. But with all the great stuff that's coming, everybody just make sure that if you want to bring in your new demon hunters into the guild, if you have new characters that you're finally rolling that Death Knight, we're more than happy to help you out. Just make sure you put in that application in Umami. Regular characters that aren't heroic class, they need to be level 10. Death Knights need to be level 60, and Demon Hunters do need to be 100 before you can get in. But the officers have been on, especially all weekend, getting as many invites in as we can, and just be patient because we have, as a new officer, I am amazed with how many applications that we've gotten and everything. But you know what? Come Tuesday, if you haven't had a chance to make a Demon Hunter yet, we'll be ready for you to get you in the guild.
Yep, and I've been amazed at the number of brand new characters that are popping up into my sub guild, because we normally have to go through and check and see how long they've been in there, or do they need to be upgraded to cohort, and it's like so many are just brand spanking new, like brand new accounts, brand new Umami and everything. So it's like, wow, we're actually pulling in a lot, and it's not just people coming back; it's actually new characters.
Yeah, and it's so great because something that you and I have talked about before, and Ted as well, is just AIE. We're a great just fun guild, family friendly, of course. But just all the various people that we get to meet and know and stuff, it's fantastic. So all the new people who are joining us, hi, and welcome.
Welcome to the insanity.
Exactly.
Which is different than Welcome to the Machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be your line, which is perfect. So.
Sorry, guys, apparently.
Yeah, it's okay. We got it. So, Mew, I know that even though you do have the move coming up in the move coming up soon. Is there one big thing in Legion that you're really looking forward to?
Probably all the various artifact weapons. I'm definitely looking forward to all that lore, and that's kind of why I have so many alts. Is that, and I'm not afraid of the same class 2 or 3 times, or in the case of Druid 5. Which isn't a big deal, but like, I know that further on in your artifact leveling, you can get the other ones for your other specs. But the way I have it set up is to have multiples of the classes. I can start, this character is going to be a Fury Warrior. This character is going to start as a Prot Warrior, and I can stick with that and go all the way. With the Druids, I have my Feral Druid that also does a Guardian on this side, and then on the other side, or on the same server, I have a Boomkin. And then on the other side, I have one that'll probably stick with straight feral,
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit of echoing,
It's okay. It's just like we're talking. It's just like we're talking at a giant stadium or something.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is the greatest day of my life. Oh, it stopped.
Fix it.
Now, Ted, you and I have talked a whole bunch. What's the big thing that you're looking forward with Legion, or even the tiniest thing, like the one thing that you're just looking at that you want to do that you're just going to rush right in for?
Story.
There we go.
Can you hear me okay, or am
Yes.
I robot?
Yeah,
You're
you sound
clear right
great.
now. Talk a lot. Talk everything. Say everything
Okay,
right now.
I will talk real quick. So, story. That's why I have 12 100s. I want the story of all the artifacts. I'm going to do the story of most of the artifacts, not all of them initially, because I'm sure there's going to be at least a mini lull where we'll need to catch up. But Mew, that was the thing with the druid. I'm thinking like there's 4 artifact stories just on the druid. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. That's
Well,
why
okay.
I have at least 4.
They make up for it. There's only 2 on the Demon Hunter, so it balances.
It
Yeah.
does. It does. And that's the thing. I haven't even looked at. I mean, like I know generally that the Protection Warrior weapon is a scale of Deathwing, so or scale of the Earth Warder. Sorry, before you became Deathwing. So, that's really interesting to me. I don't know what the Fury artifact is, and I don't want to know because I want to go find that out because that will be what I'm going to pick up at 102.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then
I've purposely avoided those kind of spoilers too. I haven't gone into any of the beta just so that all that stuff is still going to become pretty fresh to me.
Yeah. I only spent time. I did the Ret Paladin, the Enhancement Shaman, and of course the Fire Mage, and also the Windwalker Monk as well as the Mistweaver Monk. But that's all I've done. And now that I have all these alts opened up, like I'm really looking forward to the Feral Druid because that's the type of Druid that I play, and the idea of having like just different looks and appearances and actually having armor on a cat, that is exciting for me. I think it's going to be really cool.
Yep, and with the Feral main, definitely is big for me. I mean, it's being whenever I get new gear when we're raiding, you can't tell. You just you see the same old cat, and finally we're going to see some differences. So that's going to be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, man, this expansion is going to be absolutely fantastic. There's so much opening up in it, and I just from what I've heard, what I've kind of seen a little bit of, it looks like it's going to be one of the best ones they've ever done. They poured so much into it.
Yeah. So, quick question, since I wasn't able to talk before. What's your favorite voice line from the invasion so far? Because I do have a favorite of the 6 zones and the 6 leaders in there. Or do any stand out to you?
Well, I've actually I haven't seen it myself, but I've actually heard people complaining that Sylvana sounded flat, which was kind of interesting.
Maybe
when she does that hold fire on your arrows, there's a little bit, but that's about it.
Yeah. I've what is it, Mechatork? He's probably been the most animated and interesting from the Broken Shore.
Yeah.
I agree.
Everybody talks about Tyrion on the Broken Shore. That was a great performance.
Definitely.
Although I do have to say, of the actual like plot points in the invasions and stuff, the thing that like not exactly surprised me, but the one that comes to mind that I actually really like is when the Dark Iron Dwarves show up in Dunmoreau. Like it's just all of a sudden, the mole machines pop up and they're like, oh, you didn't think that you're gonna do these without us, and just it's just a really cool little thing. And I mean, I'm Horde for life, but it's just one of those like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're getting along finally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Moira's back with the boys. All right.
Yep.
I liked the one in Tarn Mill because one of his lines that he says, whether you're fighting for God or whether you're fighting for king, country, or gold, rid these demons, rid this land of our demons, something like that. And it's a really interesting line of how, regardless of what you're fighting for, come help us.
Yeah, and especially since he was tortured by what was going on there, wasn't he? Like wasn't part of the quest line. Yeah, it's like he shouldn't be all your past or future or whatever. Let's defend this land. It's like, shouldn't he hate this place?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, and
demons come.
Speaking of, something that I have actually really loved is working together, like with the Alliance and Horde, both battling the demons together, and it's something that's, I really feel like story-wise, the adventures and stuff, they get it. It's like, oh, demons are invading, let's kill them, without really jumping to PvP and trying to kill each other at the same time. Meanwhile, the leaders are the ones who are being petty and back and forth against each other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't talk to them, because of the whole language barrier and stuff, but when I see, this, I don't know, Alliance Warlock out trying to kill some demons on their own, and I just rush in and help and destroy it, and then we kind of look at each other and then figure out that we're both just running together from that point, just, taking down this big giant structure and stuff. It's something that is, a good feeling of saying, like, hey, we're defending this place together, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the fact that you can go to an Alliance town and help them if you're Horde and vice versa.
Exactly.
They don't immediately kill you, just if you happen to stick around for a while,
Yeah, you gotta get out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and the only bug that I've noticed is for every once in a while you'll just come across a player that just feels the need to PvP flag, and that does kind of interrupt the experience a little bit because as you're running around smacking at things, since they're considered an enemy, they pop up and you're it's like you can't hit them, you're not flagged. You can't hit them, you're not flagged. And every once in a while they'll do something and you will get flagged. So that's been a weird little bug for me, where maybe it's their pet or they have to be on like if they jump onto one of the machines, it'll actually accidentally I think what was it the other night when we were raiding, someone got some
the honorable kill.
Yeah, honorable kill, because someone accidentally killed part of one of the machines because it was somehow flagged because of this bug. So.
Accidentally.
Well, being their first honorable kill, I'd have to wonder, but yeah. But other than that, little thing, it's been pretty nice. And although I will say it has been, at least for me, and maybe this is controversial, but I haven't really enjoyed the Dark Whispers. I kind of feel that's. I know a lot of people are like, no, that you're supposed to get it and just go crazy. That's not how I play this game. I don't play this game to PvP my own faction at the very least, let alone PvP in general. And just to be forced, like you don't have you can mark it off, but like when I first got it, like everything around me tried to kill me.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't know why, and you're just dead suddenly. Like, whoa, what just happened? And then you get up again, and someone hits you with the flag again. You die again. You're like, this isn't fun. What's going on? It seemed like it was leaning towards the bad part of the old Plague pre-expansion stuff.
Yeah.
But once you start to figure it out and can you can learn, like if you actually mouse over the debuff, it actually says you can unclick, you can right click this to make it go away. It's like okay, fine. It's like okay, fine. I can opt out now. So that's the only black eye I've seen.
Yeah, but I mean overall though, it's that weird force PvP was odd. I went ahead and like tried to get to the raid boss thing, and I did it, and I'm just kind of like, did it once, and I'm done. I don't care at that point.
Yeah, they didn't give you a reason to do it, just being, causing havoc, essentially.
Exactly. And I thought that's how you actually found the other hidden demons and stuff. I thought that by, having the whisper or whatever, that's how you did it. And oh no, I was wrong. So wasted time running around trying to talk to all the Doomsayers at that point. It's like, hey, I'm bad too. Hey.
Yeah, and a quick tip for those that are still trying to get the Fell Spreader toy. Do it as a hunter. Because hunters have detect demon on all the time. The demon hunters, oddly enough, only have spectral sight occasionally. So they have to run around to a Doomsayer, hit spectral sight, see if they're a demon, and that's it. Whereas demon regular hunters, just vanilla hunters, have that aura period, and they can always see, oh yeah, that Doomsayer's got something going on. So if you're trying to find this Fell Spreader, I definitely recommend doing it on a hunter.
Yeah, I actually got mine, my first drop on the auction house for 8,000 gold. So.
All right, very cool. I'm still robot.
No,
nope,
you're
good.
You're going in and out. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We'll just have to live with it.
Yep.
I don't know. My system just decided to really take a crap. So sorry.
That's okay. We've tried to hold up as much as we can without you, but we miss you.
Oh, you guys are doing awesome.
Yeah. Oh man, tomorrow's going to be great.
Oh.
Do we know when exactly they're going to be switching over to Legion yet?
It's supposed to be midnight Monday. Basically Monday night, Tuesday morning.
Okay, but is it Pacific?
Pacific time.
Pacific. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Blizzard time.
Okay, perfect.
Sometimes they started a little early. Like I think with Mist, they kind of let you in a little early, so just hang around.
I think they did it in Eastern time just to be different or something like that.
Yeah.
But typically they do it at Blizzard time, which pretty soon I won't be on Blizzard time anymore, so I'll be on Central time.
Yep, because of your move.
Right.
Yep, move.
Okay, so last question. Have you guys gone through and taken all your characters and basically cleaned out your inventory, made sure that you don't have any outstanding garrison quests and all that?
I've done all the cleanouts, except for my void storages. I haven't touched those yet. I figured it wasn't that big a deal. But oddly enough, I'm one of those that didn't mind the garrison all that much. So, for especially if it's a character that I'm grinding professions on, I still do the garrison stuff. But I have definitely touched them a lot less since the pre-patch stuff has started. Mm-hmm. But there's still a couple characters that I want to get their professions up because I've kind of decided that if I already have all of the professions set up on a server, that any extra characters are going to be engineers. Because one of the big things that they did in the pre-patch was they made much of the engineering stuff toys. And now all you have to do is just level up that engineer a little bit, and then he has access to all these toys you've already made. So it's so convenient to be able to access all that stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Personally, I've gone through and I think I've actually cleaned everything out. I know everybody's actually in Orgrimmar right now, as opposed to their garrison. So I should probably, ditch the garrison Hearthstone and just stick it in my bank because I'm not going back there anytime soon. But yeah, maybe cash out the final resources and make bandages or the healing tonics or something like that.
Yeah,
I'll probably do that.
Yeah, that's after they got rid of all the gold abilities. I pretty much started getting all the scorpion segments to make tons of those potions. So that's been kind of useful. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not going to get rid of the garrison Hearthstone just yet, unless they get rid of all the portals. Because right now it's kind of an extra portal. You can do your garrison, and then go into the portal that takes you to Ashran, and then at Ashran you have all the main faction hub portals.
Yeah, I've got my Hearthstone set up at 2 moons for pretty much everybody.
Yeah, and that's what I've started doing too. Is currently my regular Hearthstone is in the 2 moons, or the Shrine of 2 Monkeys, or whatever we call it.
Ted, I know that you are very diligent about getting everything set and perfect for the expansion. So are you actually all cleaned out and have it all good to go and ready for midnight tomorrow?
Almost. I'm still going through tunes and trying to finish that up. I found a couple tunes that I thought I'd done Khadgar's last quest on and hadn't done it on. So
I got to do all those. Oh crap! I forgot about those.
Yeah,
that's why we're talking.
Yeah. There's a couple of the last little bits I still have to do on a couple characters. So.
Well, I've got 10 or 9 of those to do. Oh boy.
Well, thankfully they go quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you haven't done Karazhan and Ulduar yet, in which case,
those are the longer ones.
I only did it on
one. Was definitely very short. Yeah, it was almost too short. You're like, okay, we're done. Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like go.
Well, and what's funny is it flows better now. Like if you waited and had to go find Khadgar, come back, do that, it all kind of flows into one quest now.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry, I'm totally taking us completely off track.
No, you're fine.
So when Dalaran first appeared over Karazhan, I actually flew there and flew up into the sewer, so I was able to check out the rogue class hall, just nice. Unfettered at all. As a mage, I'm just running around. I'm like, look at this! Oh, look, there's all this treasure, and oh, there's that over there. And so, if you get a chance, try that beforehand if you don't have a rogue, just so you can kind of see what's going on, because that place is pretty cool. Even though it's in the sewers.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are complaining. People have been complaining about the rogues being in the sewers, right? Well, I finally finished with the help of Aludra the legendary daggers for rogues. Oh, cool. Yeah, and so I figured out why they're not using Durnhold. So there's a good reason why we're not using Durnhold for the rogue. So yeah, if you have a rogue and you haven't finished that yet, or if you can't, look it up and read up. There's a reason why they're not using Durnhold anymore. I guess they could if they really wanted to, but yeah, there's it lost a lot of its useful qualities. So.
Gotcha. Well, that is now what I'm using my boost on because I've been leveling so much other stuff. So I will. I've totally forgot. I need to start that quest once I get him up to 100. Then. So
Yeah, it's pretty fun, especially if you know how to do the spine of what's his face.
Mhm.
That's a painful thing. Yeah, definitely.
I do it solo more times than I care to admit.
Yes. Yeah, if you're good with that, then you'll get that quest done pretty quickly. So.
Okay, cool.
I definitely recommend it. There's a lot of good lore, and you get to see. I know a lot of people are complaining about Rathion disappearing. Well, that you'll get to see where he first came from, but if you finish that quest, so.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, am I a robot?
Yes, you are.
A little bit.
A little bit or a lot bit?
Yes.
You're right in the middle.
All right, let me fuss with this.
Okay.
Was there anything else we wanted to discuss?
Other than the fact that I'm just so freaking excited for it.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that, and I'm also kind of looking forward to that period of when we finally get a little bit tired of it, waiting for the next patch, and then we can go to our other games.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're already making plans in Final Fantasy for when everyone needs a little break. So it's like, hey, we're here. We've got stuff for you to do.
Perfect.
Come join us. Have some fun.
Come on over.
Yep. And it's kind of that fun little lull where everyone gets real excited about it, and they'll go through the content. It's like, oh, I guess we're done here. Okay, let's move to the next one. Let's just focus on that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of was that way with writers. It kind of had a quick, everyone was excited about it, and everyone got to max cap, and okay, everyone took a break. So it's been pretty quiet over there. But
I need to play more of that too.
Yeah, it's still a fun game. It's definitely WoW keeps people a lot better than a lot of these newer games do.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that if there were more people playing Riders, yeah, it's familiar. And that's one of the problems. If more people were playing Riders on a regular basis, I think a lot more people would be in there. It's kind of that catch-22.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you gonna do? It's WoW is big because that's why it's big. It's big because it's big.
Exactly.
I agree. All right, do I sound any better?
No, not really.
Not really.
Okay, give me just a moment. I'm going to restart Voice Meter and hopefully do the end of the show.
Okay.
No, we didn't get a chance to talk about what you've been doing every Wednesday.
Oh my gosh, I would go on forever though. But I don't know if people are actually interested in what I've been doing Wednesdays. Okay. So, gosh, it's been weeks now. Well, months now actually. I was talking with some people on Twitter about Mass Effect and how great it was, and I thought to myself, I really need to play through it again for like a fourth time or something. So I decided that I was going to start streaming it, and so for about an hour every Wednesday, I play Mass Effect, and unfortunately and fortunately, I put Twitter polls up and have people make the big choices for me. And because of that, I've done absolutely horrible things, essentially played through the game as Renegade. So if there's an option to kill someone, I just do. If there's a prompt, a really quick prompt of do a Renegade move, I do it. If there's a quick prompt of do a Paragon move, generally I don't. So I'm seeing the game in an entirely different light now and having a blast with it. But I mean, there are some people who are dead who I really wish hurt. Oh, it hurts so much.
That's
it hurts, doesn't it?
I've been wanting to do that Renegade style, and I've tried it a couple times, and you just get to a certain point, it's like, it just doesn't feel right. It's I want to experience it, but it doesn't feel right.
It's like, I can't be mean to Tally. It's Tally. Come on. Yeah. So I've been doing horrible things Wednesday nights.
Horrible things Wednesday nights with Ben. Yeah, because I wanted to.
All right.
I found this neat little trinket at WonderCon the other day.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's this neat little.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm a little into what you could say into Mass Effect as well. So
yes,
I have a few items that I've been collecting, and the usual bits of jackets and backpacks and socks and all kinds of fun stuff. But yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite games. So definitely in the top 5.
Yeah, it's in my top 1. Just the whole trilogy as a whole, because I mean, it's like Star Wars. You can't look at it as individuals. It's like I have my favorite game of Mass Effect, which is 2. 2's the best one, obviously. Mm-hmm. But as a whole, it is great storytelling. And again, it's this huge, awesome universe that they created because they lost the Star Wars license, which is great.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. And definitely looking forward to the new Max Effect.
Yes, on Andromeda, whatever that ends up being, I have high hopes for.
Ben's all in.
Oh, totally.
Yep.
Yeah, hands down, collector's edition, day one, all that stuff.
Yes, definitely.
Cool. Do I sound adequate?
Yes, sound great.
All right. So then let's get to stuff while I still talk about it. Thank you guys so much for helping out and being there. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go through and rebuild the system or something for the next show. I'm tired of fighting with the sound sub system.
And it's starting to fight with you again, too.
Well, anyways, we do have some shout-outs from guildies that submitted and everything. We love you. Make sure that if you do have shout-outs, send them to, I don't know, or do you say that later?
No, I think we're at that point.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, no, go ahead and do the shout-outs.
All right. Well, first off, from Mathanug, he just wanted to give a huge shout-out to all those tanks that died during the invasions. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Anyone who tanked, you are a godsend during the invasion.
Yeah, Prot Warrior for life for that, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Next up, we have from Ralph. Shout out to the Guild Chat cheese puns, which that lasted for a good maybe, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes last night. I don't know if either of you were on during that.
Mm-mm.
But it was quite good. I was a fan.
Nicely done.
Yep. And last but not least, we have from Kazric. A future shout-out to all the guildies that will be racing through the Legion content for not spoiling anything in Discord or Guild Chat while the rest of us muggles work our way through it. Thank you, really, thank you. And I'd just like to say, on a personal note, because you can go to different zones at different times, please keep any sort of spoilers or any sort of discussion on that in private channels just to make sure that you don't ruin someone's day. If someone saw something really cool and it was great and it affected them emotionally and all that, don't you want to be able to give that to your fellow guildies? Keep those spoilers out of Guild Chat.
Yep. And there'll be some of us like me that'll be moving during a lot of this, so I'm not going to be able to experience a lot of it just yet. So I definitely would appreciate learning everything ahead of time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That looks like it.
All right. How do I sound now?
Perfect.
Go,
Just
go,
jump
go.
right in.
Is this good?
Yes.
Yes. Go, go, go.
All right. Well, that is our show for tonight. While the chat room begins suggesting show titles, we want to thank Ben the Mage and Mewcow for joining us. Not Ben the Mute, but Ben the Mage. I've been Tet the Mute. So, Ben, if people want to find out more about you and what you've been doing, where can they find you?
Best thing to do actually is follow me on Twitter. I'm at Ben the Mage. I will retweet when I'm recording shows live, when I'm actually streaming Mass Effect, and fun stuff like that. Plus, in my profile, I think you can find my YouTube page and all that, as well as the Twitters for all the different shows that I'm on. So, at Ben the Mage on Twitter.
Yay! And Mew?
Best place is probably Twitter as well, at the Mewcow. Because Mewcow was already taken. I also have Altitus.net out at Altitus.net for the Altitus segment, and you can usually find that, of course, here on the AIE Podcast, but on the Instance and CTR, and is also a little show I think you're familiar with, Azeroth Roundtable.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
One of those hosts is a jerk. That's all I know.
I'll tell him.
Nah, he just plays a jerk on the podcast. He's a really good guy.
Oh, thanks. Oh, you mean? Oh, never mind. Anyways, if you have a question or comment about the show, you can always email it at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can always follow us on Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. Now, McCullough, who is not here this week, as stated previously, is at Cyberwave. And Tetsemi, our wonderful robot friend, you can find him on Twitter. He is at Ivory Tiger. Now, they do record live every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific, and you can always join the chat room and play along with us on the website at AIE-guild.org/podcast. live stream and our Discord server for chat at discord.gg. What am I saying? Discord.gg/W4MRCT4. And of course,
Or just go to the website.
yeah, it's
Show
so much
notes,
easier
show
that way.
notes.
Yep, and last but not least, our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen, and you can always follow him on Twitter at keyswithsoul, or visit the website keyswithsoul.com.
Yay! Thank you so much. And now it's time to play all of our great AIE member segments we received this week, including overly dramatic news from Hunts the Wind and Mew, will there be an Altitis?
No, because I did this show and I'm moving.
All right. So we will see you guys in 2 weeks for the next show. Thank you, everyone, for putting up with the technical difficulties, and thank you to Ben and Mew for carrying on the hosting duties. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yep.
When you ask the guest host, it involves some hosting. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
Funny how that
All
works.
right. And that is our show. Thank you all. Thanks, chat room, for being here.
thanks, everybody.
Bye. All right. So
So-
do I sound like a robot now?
No,
or...
you sound perfect now.
Yeah.
Of course. So, yeah, I think what I'm going to have to do is basically throw Voice Meter out the window or get a new version of it, because that's what I was using as the virtual thing to split the sound into. As soon as I killed that and just went back to the mic, it's fine. The only issue is when McCullough broadcasts next to me, I need something that dampens the mics down, because the snowballs don't, they pick up too much sound, even when they're clamped down. So that's what I was using Voice Meter for, but we'll figure it out.
No, and I have issues with Voice Meter too. I use it for art every week, and sometimes it just all of a sudden there's just scratchiness that goes along with it and everything too. So I get that, and eventually, I'm gonna get an actual mixer itself. Hopefully that'll alleviate a lot of those issues. But until then, it's free software for the win, or the semi get across the finish line. Either way.
Exactly. So,
Yeah, and I don't do live shows typically, so I don't have to deal with all that. I just use the Audacity, and that pretty much takes care of everything I need.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, cool. Well, I'm going to stop the broadcast again. Thank you.
No, show title.
Show title.
Oh, that's right. Well, so we had Sybil. Sybil came up with 2 of them. We have WoW, addiction to Legion is the good Legionnaire's disease, or hunting demons, the new blood sport.
Actually, I just shortened it. Go Legionnaire's disease.
We could do that too.
Yeah, that I definitely like that one.
Yeah. Wonderful.
All right. Cool. Well, we will do that. And again, thank you guys, chat room. Thank you all.
Bye, chat room.
All right.